Welcome to the fifth and final installment of If You Don't Take Care of Your Body, Where Are You Going to Live? Today's movement pattern that we are going to demonstrate is upper body pushing. As with upper body pulling, one can either push in a horizontal orientation or in a vertical orientation. We've chosen to put this last in our series of 5 basic movements because, in my opinion, it may be the least important exercise that people do in the gym. This flies in the face of what you'll often see in gymnasiums with people lying on their backs pushing heavy weights off of them. My question would be, when in life do you actually have to do that? This is not to say there's not value in being strong in every area of your body, but it is some food for thought. The classic exercise for doing a horizontal push would be a push-up. I am going to get down to the floor, placing my hands underneath my shoulders, my feet locked in. This is basically a plank, and a push-up is basically a moving plank. I come down and push back up. A variation on this is the bench press. I'm going to start with 2 dumbbells, seated on the bench. Always want to have 3 points of contact, both feet and my head. So my head goes on the bench, my feet are on the ground, and I extend the dumbbells up. I'm going to come down now at a 90-degree angle, slowly fighting against gravity and pressing up. 10 to 12 repetitions, works the chest muscles nicely. A wonderful variation on this exercise is an alternating press. Here I come down. Notice that my left arm stays constantly engaged. Therefore, I am increasing the amount of time that the muscle is under tension. The weights come back down and go to the floor. One variation that I particularly like is using the kettlebell for a floor press. This will limit the amount of range for the shoulder, very helpful for people with shoulder issues, but by doing it in a straight leg position, it also forces me to get some core demands. So, I like the nice thick grip on the kettlebell. Notice that my heels and toes are touching. And as the weight lowers down, the only thing that keeps me from rolling over to one side is the activation of my core on the opposite side, particularly my oblique muscles and my deep transverse abdominis. I would do all my repetitions on one side and then switch over to the other side as well. Once again, lowering at a 90-degree angle and trying to keep myself from rolling over and lowering with control. Finally, we'll take a walk over to the cross cable and look at how we can do the same exercise standing, which is how we push primarily in life. Here I'm going to grab 2 cross cables, step out from the station so that there is tension when I come back. Notice the position is the same as the dumbbell press. I push out and come back in. Push out and come back in. These are classic horizontal pushes. In a moment, we'll take a look at the vertical push. So I brought in Aaron Hovde, the owner here at All Natural Training, to demonstrate the second portion of upper body pushing, vertical pushing, or the overhead press. Aaron is in a tall kneel position, both knees on the pad, his toes are curled under, and glutes are engaged. The dumbbells are at his ears, and he is simply going to press up, trying to frame his ears with the bicep. From there, I'm going to ask Aaron to move into a half kneel position, and I'm going to ask him now to alternate overhead presses. So both arms are up. He's going to press, extend both arms over your head actually. Lower one, up, lower the other. This forces him to stabilize through the upper body, stabilize through the lumbar spine, and keeps him under tension for a longer period of time. The next progression would be to standing. Notice Aaron's in an athletic stance. His feet are hip to shoulder width apart, butt slightly back, knees nice and soft. He moves the weights into position and he will do the same thing. He can actually drive through the hips with a little knee bend if he needs to. I want to pay attention to him not using his low back. One hint for this is to stand against the wall with your buttocks against the wall. If you feel your shoulders touch the wall, then you know you're using your low back. His form is perfect.